Good evening, beloveds. It all starts with sitting on the earth. It is in these moments that I am truly grateful for. Having been inside for weeks with no let up on the rain, I am so grateful to know the sun and have a relationship with the giver of light. I'm grateful for my relationship with the absence of time and how I respond to nature when sitting on the earth. Her gentle electricity coming up through my feet and my body, balancing my entire energetic field and letting me know that I am held. Just sitting there reminded me of how much I used to journal, to write, to share my thoughts with the written word, with the page, with the lines, and hence the trees. I realize now that it has always been my relationship with nature that has sustained me. Just making that connection from pen to paper brings a different level of contemplation, one that we have lost through the emergence of social media. And yet we find many expressing their every thought, word, and deed through the avenue of being witnessed, craving attention, craving human connection. The gap has become so vast with human interaction that just talking to people randomly feels odd. And yet I continue to do it in spite of my unnatural propensity to withdraw and retreat. It's unnatural. Your natural state of well-being is bliss. So why wouldn't you want to talk to people? Why wouldn't you want to interact with your fellow humans, right? It just seems so weird that people don't talk to each other anymore. I mean, even in the park, dude, it's just amazing to me how, but then there's this creepy energy, so then it makes me want to withdraw and retreat, and it's so much easier to just isolate, when presenting to the world now, it requires superhuman strength. My shyness has become more evident, and the desire to not engage with the world has become stronger. I have no desire to prove that I'm happy. I have no desire to engage in silly rhetoric. I mean, what are we doing? What has happened to this world? We must ask ourselves those hard questions of how we got here and how we can get ourselves out of it and return home to balance. It has become ever increasingly difficult to stay and remain balanced in a frighteningly chaotic world that lends itself to insanity and self-serving behavior. We must be willing to address the fact that we have been hoodwinked and under a deep spell that we are now waking up from. Our vote counts. The more we see the truth of what is really going on and that the veil has been lifted, the more we have the opportunity to make choices supporting life. Those choices take deep courage. What are we willing to do? What are we willing to say? How far down the rabbit hole are we willing to go when we feel we need to maintain the status quo? Sitting on the earth, observing nature, allows you to witness truth, align yourself with it, and take action. Gaia supports you and makes it easier to move through the blocks, self-imposed or not. This week I was deeply, deeply triggered by an interaction with a dear friend of mine who reminded me of myself and how I didn't value my own worth to the point where I was not respecting the worth of others. And from my own lens, I had many perceptions that spoke louder than my words. It took me back, and I went deep into the process of looking at my relationship to many things and how I've manipulated so many aspects of life just to get my needs met. The grace of so many people made me cry tears of gratitude for the support I have been given over the years from people who believe so deeply in me, in my mission, that love me beyond worlds. I am so deeply grateful for this awareness. Without it, I might perish, or I think I might. I had one other moment this week as well where I got to witness my son passed out on the papasan from exhaustion and sadness at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. He'd been staying up all night from, attempting to reset the clock of circadian rhythms. And he decided to fast as well, but I didn't know this. I just saw him there, curled up on the papasan, a small child in an ever-growing man's body, scared to enter the world or even receive love from another human. And it struck me to deep sadness and tears. I've been enabling him. I don't know how to help him. This realization hit me super hard, and I wept for about a half an hour. I wish he trusted anyone to share his life with. I understand he's coming out of a life of deep abuse, and I must be patient. Even when the people around me share their heartfelt thoughts and advice, we all want him to thrive. I trust my own deepest wisdom and his personal guidance he has shared with me about his own journey. I trust he knows what's best for him. And I'm just happy he is finally safe. Safe to breathe, safe to sleep, safe to just be. He will find his own 2 feet. Let's start there. Let's all find the place within ourselves where it is safe to just be without any expectations or judgments. It starts with sitting on the earth. Namaste, beloveds. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be free. Signing off. Saralise.